you would have to really force me to put one in, and I still would be fighting it every step of the way. I don't think they're that efficient. I don't think they're going to save you any money. Just the electric bill alone, I think, would not go down any. I really think it would go up.
All right, guys, today we are here talking with the resident plumbing expert here at Yarbrough Sons, Mr. James Barker. We've had James on board for 3 years now, going on 4. Yep. So we're almost to a full presidential term. I released a video that was a pretty hot take. It said, we don't believe in electric tankless water heaters. We believe that they are basically malpractice on behalf of the manufacturers. And James agrees with me. So today we're going to talk about why that is. We did some reading, found out that about 30% of all tanklesses that are sold are electric. However, we think that that's probably much lower here in Oklahoma. But James, let's talk about why don't we believe in electric tanklesses? If a customer comes to us asking for an electric tankless, what are the things that we're going to tell them? What's the punch list? Obviously if they're adamant, sure, we'll do it. But what's the punch list of things that we'll give them to consider before doing it? The
main thing that I look at is, for one, they don't last very long.
Yeah.
The second thing is, most of them that are produced, and there may be some that I haven't found, but most of them that I've seen will not produce as much hot water as a 30-gallon tank will produce. So they say you can run multiple things on them, but you get up running, 4 and 5 gallons a minute through one, which is not that much. It will not keep up.
Yeah.
You're going to starve it, and you're going to end up taking either a cold shower or washing your hands in cold water, anything like that, that is not going to be comfortable for you.
Yeah.
You're not going to be happy with it. Therefore, you're not going to be happy with me for putting it in.
Yeah.
That's why I do not put them in.
Yeah. Well, and then we'll be out in 2 years to replace the element.
Yes. Oh yeah. Always. That's if they last 2 years, you've done really well.
You've made it out okay.
Yes. With the hard water we have in Oklahoma, in a regular electric tank water heater, it has room for when that element cools off for the calcium buildup to fall to the bottom. In a tankless, you have a small tube that the element is in, and when it heats up and then cools off, there is no place for the calcium to go.
Yeah.
So it's going to plug up and cause problems, and that's going to cause it to fail. And as bad as our water is, it's going to be very quick. There is too many things that fail. They're not designed for hard water or mineral buildup at all.
So let's talk about, like on the hard water side of things, what is it that makes it towards like a gas is able to sustain, a gas tankless is able to sustain versus an electric tankless? What's kind of like that line that makes it toward that one is more reliable than the other?
The gas burns around the tubes that the water goes through. The heating element for electric is inside the tube.
Okay.
That's the difference. That's what makes it to where the calcium wants to stick to that element directly.
Gotcha.
The stainless or whatever kind of heat exchanger or tubes that they have for the tankless gas, they're smoother. They just tend to let it flow through easier.
So like on a gas tankless, we have our water tube for, just for layman's terms, we have our water tube running through a hot area.
Yes.
Versus on the electric tankless, we have our element is actually inside of the water line itself.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Anytime they heat up, for some reason that attracts that calcium and minerals to it. They want to bond to it.
Gotcha.
And unless you have something to have it to release or a place for it to go, when it releases and cools off, it's just going to keep building up over time and not last and not be very efficient.
Our recommendation would really be a lot of times like point of use. Like if the only time that we'd say, okay, maybe you could use it is a point of use. But even then, we can get you a little 20-gallon point of use electric and probably be better off and save you quite a bit of money because an electric tankless costs us just as much as a gas tankless does.
Yes, and the smaller electric, as long as you're just using for washing your hands or anything like that, even a 5-gallon will normally do all that with no problem. The only time you got to worry is if you're trying to run a shower or something that's going to run for a long period of time. That's when you want to go a little bit bigger. And even a 10 or 15-gallon electric will produce quite a bit. You could take a 5 or 10 minute shower with that with no problem. But if you like having a good hot shower, like I do, it's not going to do what you want. Do not like them, have not liked them. You would have to show me something that's a miracle now compared to what I've seen in the past.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that efficient. I don't think they're going to save you any money. In fact, I think they're going to they're going to cost you money, but just the electric bill alone, I think, would not go down any. I really think it would go up.
Yeah. Yeah. And two, we have this huge movement of electrification happening across the country, and there are a ton of great applications for it. However, a tankless utilizes the same technology that is in our high efficiency furnaces, our 90+% furnaces. So what that means, I believe most tanklesses now burn at 99 or 98% efficiency.
Yes.
So that means for every dollar that you're putting in, so literal dollar of gas that you put into a tankless to run the gas to heat the water, you're getting 98 or 99 cents of heat into the water to your fixtures, whatever you're running at that time. And only 2 cents or 1 cent is going out the flue pipe in off-gassing or in carbon.
Yes.
So we have a 98 or 99% efficiency. The electrification movement on the tankless side of things, or even really an electric, why we don't want to do total electric AC and electric heat systems, is because whenever we run that system, the most efficient power plants in the world, sure, if you're running on solar, or some form of just complete green energy,
right,
throw out what I'm saying. But if you're running on the grid, right now across the United States and most of the modern world, we have a 35% off-gassing or heat loss in power capture, which means as we generate heat, we lose 35 to 40% of total power capacity to either off-gassing or to heat loss. So we're losing out on the efficiency of the total power grid. So on the efficiency side of things, you're going to be hard pressed to find something that is even remotely as efficient as a 90+% furnace or a gas tankless water heater.
Absolutely.
And that is one of the reasons why we don't believe in electric tanklesses.
With Oklahoma being a gas producing state and all, using a gas tankless water heater is going to be the best thing I think you can do, the most efficient thing you can do. And every one of them that I've put in, I've not had anybody come back and say they didn't like it.
Yeah.
Never, not one.
And it helps secure Oklahoma jobs.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've already established that we don't believe in electric tanklesses, so we're not even going to talk about them. We're going to crumble that paper up, toss it to the side, and get it out of here.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about what are the 3 top tankless gas water heater brands that we believe in and that we install.
My favorite one right now is the Vesta.
Okay.
Which is, there's different sizes, but I try not to put in any of them except the 199. That's 199,000 BTUs.
Okay.
That's when it's burning at full capacity, that's what it will burn.
Okay.
But it does it for a short time and you're done.
Yeah. Which for the layman out there, 199,000 BTUs, a BTU, 1 BTU is like a match. 1 match equals 1 BTU. So basically that tankless has the capacity of essentially 200,000 matches all at once.
Right. So those I like. I've not had hardly any trouble with any of them. And the warranty on them, we've had a couple that you're going to have issues with a few. They have just sent us a whole new unit. We went out and put it in. If it's within our 1-year warranty, it costs the customer nothing.
Yeah.
And then after that, they have a good tech support. We can get a hold of them quick and easy, and that's the one I really like to put in.
Yeah.
The second one is the Navian, and there again, it has another one that's 199,000 BTU, which is the 240 A or S. And the A or S just depends if you have a circulating system or you don't. It's the only difference. And they're basically the same kind of water heater. There's a couple differences, but both of them are very good, have no issues at all with them. The third one is the Renai, and I don't know the name or the
actual product name.
Yeah, the actual. But they're a good product. The only reason I don't like putting them in is it's harder to get parts for them.
Yeah.
That's the only issues I have.
Yeah.
There's a few more out there. I would do your research and your Google reviews.
Yeah.
That's why we like them, because if we do a good job, everybody should know. If we do a bad job, everybody should know.
Absolutely.
I agree with that completely, and that's the same with any reviews on products.
And on the plumbing side of things, we're just as brand agnostic as we are on the HVAC side. We bring all of our supply houses to the table at least once a year and force them to give us their sharpest pencil so that we can pass on savings to our customers. So as far as what products we recommend, you know, you heard it from James. We have 3 or 4 that we really recommend. Really and truly, what it comes down to is who's installing it and how well will they stand behind it. Because
Absolutely.
let's be honest, whenever it breaks, you're not calling the manufacturer. You're calling Yarbrough Sons, or you're calling whoever it was that installed it. So whenever it comes to choosing a product line, sure, I think that's a good consideration.
Absolutely.
But I think it matters a little bit less than who installs it.
Oh, completely. Because I've seen them online, have them installed and say, look at this, we do tankless, and they don't have their isolation kit. There's several things that are not even up to code, and that's going to cost you, because you want the isolation kit. That way, when it's time to service that unit and clean it, it's very simple, very easy to do. You come in, you hook it up. It takes at least 45 minutes to run the chemical through it that cleans it. Then you should be good for another year. One good reason to go with a tankless instead of a tank is the efficiency, not ever running out of hot water. And then even if you're going to keep the home forever, they've got a better warranty than our tanks. They are just a lot better functioning. And then if you decide you want to sell the home, putting a tankless in is going to up the value of that home a lot more than what you're going to pay to have it put in.
At minimum, you're going to be able to recover the cost.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of older people, there's very little to mess with these. You put them in, the tech sets them. If they know what they're doing, then they don't have to mess with it.
Yeah.
And your younger couples that don't want to mess with it, well, that's good, and they can always count on having hot water, not have issues with them.
And you know what I think the most underrated part of a tankless is? Saves space.
Oh, absolutely.
You get to claim some of your utility closet back.
Yes, absolutely. That makes it nice.
Yeah, yeah. You get it up off the ground, and
Yes.
and you save. You go from, you know, a tank that's the size of me
Yes.
to you know, a little 14-inch by, you know, 22-inch something.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yep.
nothing.
Not very big at all, and they're a lot nicer. And they say once they're set, most time you don't ever have to touch them.
Yeah. We try to move fast and break things here at the old Heat and Air Shop. You know, we were a Heat and Air Shop for 33, 34 years prior to adding plumbing. And, you know, we always get calls about adding plumbing. And it was one of those things that we didn't want to just add frivolously. So it took the right fit, and James and his team are the right fit. So guys, if you haven't found a good plumber to stick with, a team that you can trust, the family that cares, we would love to be your plumber. James
Absolutely.
and his guys, they bend over backwards. They take care of every one of our clients as if they were, you know, their own family, family they like specifically.
Yes.
So if you are in the OKC metro area, we would love to be your team. If not, guys, do your research and reach out. And we honestly have a lot of recommendations across the entire country. So if you need a recommendation, we'd be more than happy to try to give you a pointer as to where to look.
And if you have questions, you can always call up and ask for me. I'll be more than happy to talk to you.
Appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Yarbrough